I'm going to do a round of testing between the Nexus X Blue water ionizer, the Enagic SD501, and the Jupiter Melody water ionizer. Just see how they compare with each other. Now, I'm not going to try to test the extremes because I know they're just not going to compare that well at the extremes, although I probably will test that next. But I'm just testing the basic 3 levels of drinking water. Alright, well, let me start over here on the right with the Nexus.
Cleaning in progress.
Oh, darn it. Okay, well, it's cleaning. And the Nexus and the Enagic will both clean themselves like this periodically. It doesn't take very long of a wait, but every so often you do have to wait for that to happen. Alright, so now it's got level 1 alkaline water being created. And I'll go ahead and just go right on up the line.
Level 2 alkaline water selected.
I'm going to pour for a few seconds before I take the water sample.
Level 3 alkaline water selected.
Okay, that's the Nexus. Next I'm going to do the Enagic. And let's see.
Power on.
Oops.
Cleans it.
Okay, well, the Enagic is going to clean itself. We'll see how it does that. Alright, so you just have to wait while it's doing that. The Melody's a bit different. It has a form of continuous cleaning. The Melody will actually, basically, each time you turn it on, it reverses polarity from the last time you had poured. So it kind of has, as part of its design, the built-in, behind the scenes, continuous cleaning of the plates, which is awesome. Alright, so now we've got level, wait a minute, hold on.
Kangen water 8.5.
Alright, so we've got Kangen water 8.5, and I'm going to slow down the water flow just a tad. And so now it's doing Kangen water 9.0, and that's the same. It really doesn't mean 9.0. It just is the same thing as saying level 2. Alright, so I'm gonna go. I'm just letting it pour for just a few seconds after I move it to a new level, just so it gets acclimated.
Kangen water 9.5.
And then this is the same as level 3 is Kangen water 9.5. Alright. Alright, well, now this next one's going to be a little bit tougher because I have to, I'm so far away from the sink. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably use this pitcher like a sink just to, I guess, let it pour a little. Alright, because I don't like to take the sample instantly after I change the level. Huh. Should be. Oh, here we go. The hose is pretty long to get to it. Alright, so now I've got just water at level 1 pouring. I'll just get my sample. Move it up to level 2. Get my sample. And then move it up to level 3. And then take my sample. And that worked out pretty good. Okay. Alright. So now I'm going to test all 3 of these. And let's do pH first, or ORP second. Or wait a minute. Yeah, I suppose. It's just so difficult for me to do both at the same time. Alright, so looks like level 1 for the Nexus is somewhere between 9.4 and 9.5. Or maybe it is exactly 9.5. Alright, 9.5. Now that's level 1. Now this is the Enagic. Whoa. It's like a 10.1 pH. And now this one is the Melody. Sometimes my pH meter gets a tiny bit stuck, so I'm going to attempt to unstick it and just let it naturally climb rather than trying to come back down. No, it is that high. Okay, well, I was wondering what's the real true story here. It is pretty high, 9.9. Alright, so next I'm going to go over here to the Nexus and test level 2 of pH. And it looks like a 10.2 or, oops, 10.3. And then level 2 of the Enagic, okay, 10.7. And level 2 of the Melody, looks like about a 10.5. Alright, so go to level 3. I'll just jump to the Melody here. Looks like a 10.7. And I'm not going to do Enagic next, I'm just going to do Nexus next. 10.6 on the Nexus, and then now Enagic, because I know Enagic's going to be way high, and I don't want to kind of mess with my pH meter having to go up and down and up and down. Actually, it's not as high as I thought it would be. Alright, so 10.9. Okay, so that's the pH. Okay, next is the ORP. And I'll put this all on a chart because it's just kind of crazy trying to make heads or tails out of it now. So it looks like we're starting out with tap water being a positive 258. And I think I might have forgot to show you the tap water on the pH, which is about 9.2 or 9.3. And St. Louis is very high tap water. Alright, so the Nexus ORP at level 1. It's a nice light ionization, about a negative 50-ish. Alright, now the Enagic ORP, level 1. Now that had a very high pH, so it's going to have consecutively a higher ORP. That just pH and ORP will go hand in hand. Looks like about in the negative 200s, about negative 2. Might even go like up to a negative 300. Let's see. It's going down now. There's like a negative 300. Or, you know, somewhere in the negative 200s. You know, actually, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be it's just settled down at about a negative 250-ish. So I'll just call it a negative 260 or a negative 259. So negative 260. All right, now the melody. Wow. I'm trying to remember if this pH was high. Or, yeah, I think it was a little high for the melody. But that's really, really good ORP. Wow. Negative 770. Whew. Alright, so now let's go up. Alright, we'll start over on the right with the Nexus. Level 2. And this is really high ORP for level 2. Wow. And I'll just have to, on the chart, I'll have to evaluate this a little bit more because I can't really remember what the pH levels are now. But as the pH goes up, your ORP will obviously go up. But if the pH is not that high and it gets a great ORP like this, then that's a great sign of a good quality ionizer. So we'll call this at about a negative 750. Woo. Alright, let's go over to the Enagic. This is level 2. And I really should show you me putting the probes in the different cups. So this looks like about a maybe even negative 800. Just stir, oops, eeks. Stirred it a little and sometimes you stir it a little and it goes up, and sometimes you stir it a little and it goes down. I just call it, it's going to be close to this. Negative, hold on. Negative 781. Or 82. There we go. And the melody, I just flipped it to the melody. Whoa, this is going fast. Dang. I'm going to call that at about, it looks like it's going to be about a negative 800-ish. I hate to call something at negative 799, just round it to 800. I like to see the 800 myself. But I'll just call it a negative 799. But that's still awesome. Alright, so now I'm going to put it over here in level 3 of the Nexus. And these are all really awesome results. And it's kind of interesting because the prices are all really, really different between these ionizers. But I'll call that about a negative 7. 790 or 89, whatever. 700, negative 790. All right, now here's the Enagic at level 3. Going up into the negative 800s. Alright, well, I think it's just going to make it to a negative 810, something like that. There we go. Alright, next one is I'm putting it in the melody at level 3. This is going up into the negative 800s. All very impressive. All of them. None of them bad at all. So, about a negative 810 on the melody, let's say. Alright, well there you go. Now, there are of course differences in price, and like I said earlier, there are differences in the cleaning cycle. You've got to see the Nexus X Blue and the Kangen Levelook SD501, both having the same similar type of deal with the periodic acid wash cleaning cycles. And the Melody just has a continuous cleaning. You'll never have that cleaning cycle. And that, for that reason, the Melody works as an under sink ionizer or a countertop ionizer. Either one, because it will remember what level you want and always produce that alkaline out of the top and acidic out of the bottom, and it you don't have that hassle of the periodic acid wash cleanings. One thing I've found also with the continuous cleaning is that really it makes a more dependable pH and ORP. So no matter where you are in your pouring of ionized water, whether you're in month 1 or year 1 or year 5, the Melody tends to produce the same results. Okay, well there you go.